Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I'm your host, Dylan Cooper, the Constant Coast over here.
Gavin Franklin.
Guys, we are here to talk about 2024. We're in 2025 now. It's a new fucking year.
It
New
is
year, and we're
2025.
still the same fucking idiots.
Yeah, reading different things.
Doing
But
different
like
things.
really grown this year.
Yes, we are definitely different people
Oh,
now.
100%.
Before we get too far into everything, as always, hit us up on Discord. Find that pin to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at theheresiolodge@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube at the Heresy Lodge. We have merch. Check it out. Buy yourself something nice. It's a new year, new you, new merch. Well, the merch is the same, but
It's
it's
the
new to you.
same. We never even got the logo switched over.
Nope.
We're working on it. We're
Yeah.
working on it. Work
Yep.
in progress.
We're gonna be better in 2025.
Or worse.
The-
One of the two. We're
Yeah, we'll
definitely
see.
not staying the same though.
Gavin, what are you drinking?
I just randomly found this in my fridge. I have no idea who the hell brought it over to my house. I definitely didn't buy it. It's making me question like did someone find it outside? It's a kind of a dirty can. It's a Bodum Indian Pale Ale. In the past, in the future, let me see where it's from. I don't even, it says Chicago, Half Acre Brewing.
Hmm.
It's pretty good from Chicago.
Chicago.
It's a good IPA.
That's good.
How about you?
I just have a couple hodgepodge things that I found in my fridge.
It's just literally both of us are like, whoa, what's in my fridge today?
Pretty much, because I didn't feel like drinking anything hard. I guess I could have drank the shoji that I had for New Year's Eve, but I didn't.
You should just get your wife to go and buy you beer every week, and it'll just be a nice surprise of what terrible beer she picked out for you.
So,
Nutcracker, cinnamon, sugar, walnut, dark ale.
well, I got two here. I got Wicked Weed Brewing Strawberry Kiwi Burst Session Sour. That's
Wicked
decent.
Weed, where's that?
It is in my mouth currently.
Oh,
I'm 30 now. My eyes don't work like they used to.
you're wearing glasses.
They don't work like they used to, you know. This contains lactose, so
Oh
that's
no.
neat. Where the fuck is this?
Is that a normal thing in beer?
I don't know.
Lactose? I don't think so. I'm surprised it even tells you like what's in the
I'm
beer.
surprised I'm even still looking at this.
So you don't know.
Oh, here we go. Asheville, Kansas. Wait, no. North Carolina.
Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, and
Okay,
there's
okay.
an and. I can't read it because it's in the worst fucking color. It's like this really, really dim ass yellow.
Oh, damn.
Like
That's
I
pretty
can't
tough.
fucking read that.
Huh. Asheville is where they make or it's one of the places that Sierra Nevada Brewing Company's at.
No,
It's
cool.
also out of Sierra Nevada, but
Yeah, whatever. I'm
yeah.
also drinking a Corona Premier.
Oh, Corona. There you go.
Yep, 90 calories, baby.
We all know
2.6
that one.
carbs. Man, my eyes hurt from staring at that can for so long and so hard.
Wow. A whole 2 minutes.
I'm 30 now, dude.
I
My
think
eyes
you're
don't
getting
work.
younger. This
I
is the
need that
last
Benjamin Button
year.
disease.
This is the last year I won't be 30.
Woohoo. Better live it up, man. It's all downhill.
I know. I'm gonna do all the hard drugs this year.
Where's that methamphetamine? I mean, we're in Indiana, so it's like right outside.
It's everywhere.
They should just
I
hand it
found
out
some
to
in my
kids as they
yard.
get on the school bus.
So, been a whole year. When did we wrap up? When did we start Lord of the Rings?
It was like April, I think. I can tell you. It's on my Goodreads.
Well, let's start with the wrapping up of the Horus Heresy,
Thank
or
God.
the supposed wrapping up of the Horus Heresy,
Yeah, for
because we
real.
have now been told that there is another book coming out during the siege.
Yes, lucky us.
Um, that was such a tough ending, and it really took away. I think I had never had more motivation sapped from me over a certain subject or topic than while we were reading The Siege.
Yeah, because the worst part is too, like, the one that ADB did, Echoes of Eternity, was like really, really good.
Yeah.
The Scar's book, Moorhawk, was really good.
Yep.
And in the Debt, fucking all three of them were not good.
Again, and this is a critique over the series in general, right? But it really, really came to fruition at the end is the fact that none of the books are, I mean, they're connected, but loosely. They're written by different authors, and authors can determine whether or not they want to respect certain things.
Yep.
And I feel like the end of the death, the way Dan wrote it was, I don't really care. I'm just gonna write a new book, and it's gonna be its own thing, and it's just gonna be crazy. And you end up with a lot of unsatisfying endings, no major interesting reveals. Um, and if like Games Workshop tries to do something with certain reveals, like the Emperor almost became a Chaos God and then didn't, but then maybe he is a Chaos God and he is still doing that thing. I'm just gonna be like, that's just bad. That's just bad. Like make him a Chaos God. Day
Yeah.
one,
The crazy thing is people like the books. And they just have to be blind, right? Like it's just like
for sure.
blind like fandom.
Yeah. I mean, we went through all of them. We read all of the books back to back over the course of 2.5 years. Um, and like there were definitely ups and downs, but like this is Warhammer in a nutshell. Nothing is certain, nothing is concrete. It's very flexible. They don't like to end character arcs or end stories because they can capitalize on it and in the future. You can monetize on it.
Hmm.
And the frustrating part, and you see a lot of people now after watching like that Player One episode, like getting really interested in the Warhammer lore.
Oh, Secret Level.
Yeah, Secret Level. And
Dude,
a lot,
you should watch the Pac-Man episode.
was it good?
It's fucking nuts. Like it best episode of all of them. It was fucking incredible.
All right.
Highly recommend the Pac-Man episode.
I'll have
It's
to watch
fucking
the
sick.
Pac-Man. I'll watch it. I'll
It's
watch it
nothing
tonight.
like you expect. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
I'll have to watch it tonight. But yeah, it's just like it creates Warhammer creates this awesome universe, this awesome world in which you can tell a story and have a good time. But that's all it is. Like there's no like the story made so much sense as like the way it was before when it was like a mythos,
Yeah.
like the concepts. But then when they started getting into the nitty-gritty details, it's like, oh, okay, well, tell me a story, but they couldn't really tell like a whole story because they couldn't end stories, they couldn't kill characters, they couldn't do this, and it just gets so frustrating
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah,
So,
it's very like formulaic after like, okay, well, this character just got introduced. They're probably dead. Oh, it's a human? Definitely dead.
yeah. And as much as I love Warhammer, I also really this year was the year I super fell out of the miniature game, which sucks because I we used to do like battle reports and then we used to talk about the tournaments, but like I have just been so frustrated with Games Workshop as a company, like the content that they put out, um, with like the way that they handle their games. I'm like I think I actually think that the tabletop game is such a cool concept but the execution just makes me like nails on a chalkboard kind of thing. Like when I try and explain to my friend who wants to get into Warhammer and wants to get into Warhammer tournaments, like everything they need to know the rules. And then I hear people that are like, "Oh, well, you're just explaining it wrong. You have to like just let them have fun and kill things, and then slowly over the course of 5 months they understand the rules of the game." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like that's crazy."
Yeah.
Um,
And it just like I get like people like are really into like the building and the painting and stuff like that, but
mhm,
like, man, I'm a dad. I have
mhm.
other hobbies. Like I don't like if I'm painting a model, I want my model to look good. I don't want to do it in 10 minutes. It's gonna probably take an hour at
Mhm.
least. And it's like cool. I have 45 more of those. And that's
Yeah.
just my troops.
That's just the troops, yeah. I mean, the cost is too high. The time commitment to play a base game. And like anyone can say, like, look, you can go in and play any version of the game you want. And while that is true, I think that's like that's a kind of a weak argument because Games Workshop very clearly dedicates 90% of their energy to one format of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the version I want to play because it's the one that gets the most support. It's the one that the game is balanced around, which is
Yep. And it's
important to
one you
me.
can find someone else to play with.
Exactly. And like I can't tell you how many times I've gone into shops and people are like, "No, like we're just our own group and we play 750 point games exclusively." I'm like, "That is crazy."
Yeah.
But like they can't go anywhere out of town to go and play somewhere else, and no one else can come into town and play with them because they don't play 750 point games. It's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
Um, I just think that there's so many aspects of the game that Games Workshop has just failed miserably at. Like the rules, how expensive they are, the terrain, like how many rules are put into like tournaments. Like why are tournaments having to make up so many rules in order to make your game playable? Why is your terrain support actually garbage and costs so much money to invest in like your terrain?
Yeah.
Um, every time I go to tournaments or play a game, I just feel just I can't have fun because the rules really encourage if you want to like play competitively, you can't really have fun playing competitively because the rules greatly encourage like weird trickster things. Like, oh, I'm poking my pistol out of the side of this building and therefore my whole squad can murder you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Like just scenarios like that. Like anytime you have to bring a laser pointer to a game in order to determine if you get to defeat
Yeah,
your
I shouldn't
opponent.
have to like get in an argument with someone about like what can and cannot be seen or like what a rule says or doesn't say. I'm like, can we just play?
Yeah, and it
Not
happens
that
every
deep.
time.
Yeah.
It happens every time. And like I don't know. It's like there are people that get coaches for the game. And I'm like, I understand like if you're going to compete at a high competitive level to get coaches, but it shouldn't be necessary to have a coach in order to play in like an open. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
order to like even be competitive in an open, in my opinion. But we digress a little bit. Oh, this is the year that I think both of us definitely fell out of love with the Warhammer scene.
Yeah. The lore failed us. The game itself. Like I enjoy playing the game, but I don't have just like 5, 6 hours I can just carve out in a day. Like
Yeah.
I just have too much going on in my life.
And the truth is too, like I always got mind blown because whenever me and you'd play, it would be 6 hour games.
Yep.
We've been to tournaments together though, and both of us play in under 3 hours.
Yep.
I don't know why it takes us 6 hours to play
Well,
a
a lot
game of
of it
Warhammer.
is like setup, then we have to
Yeah,
deconstruct everything,
do a
going
lot
through
of
the
setup.
list, going over
We
our
have
special
a
rules.
Yeah, we have a big issue. And that's the other thing too, is like we spend a lot of time doing that. Oh, going over the setup, going over the list, going over the special rules. You get to a tournament. Sorry, we have 3 hours. You don't get to know everything about my army. What the
Yeah,
fuck does that mean? Like, how is that a game? You know what I
yeah,
mean? I don't get to know what you can do.
yeah. The benefit is at least it's all the table's already set up.
Yeah, like um remember that get the tournament that I was in where I made it to top table with a towel against the
Mhm.
Custodes. I still remember that where we were playing and I was like, "Do you have any like what are these guys' movement?" Oh, it's 12 inches. Great. I'm gonna stay 24 inches away from you so you can't declare a charge on me. Boom. Starts the game. I play a stratagem to do a pregame move of 12 inches. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And it's like, yeah, you didn't know that? We didn't have time to talk about it. I went ahead and did it. And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
You
Ugh,
you found
so
don't love being in
charge
melee.
turn one by custodes? Not really. Not if we can help it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I remember playing that game too, and it's like turn three, and like I hadn't moved my guys out of like my deployment zone. And he was like, "Hey, like you can try to get points." I was like, "Dude, you killed half my army turn one. Like this is not a point. This is not a game I win on points. Like I'm just gonna try and kill as many of your custodes that I can here."
Yeah.
I came in with two massive units of crisis suits, and I started the game with half a unit of crisis suits. So yeah, I think
I
I'll
think we're
pass
good.
on
I
trying to
just
get
want to
points.
we can handshake. I don't really want to touch you, but it's yours, man.
Yeah. And the thing is, like the guy, I actually met the guy like two or three times. I've been to a couple tournaments with him. He's actually a nice guy, really good at painting and stuff. Like I think he felt really bad about that too. And the reason that he did it was because that's just the type of that is the type of community that Warhammer promotes, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And like I'm sure like he's at top table. He probably had never been to top table before and was really nervous and was like, "Oh, I can get an edge here."
Yeah.
That's probably what he was thinking. Like I don't really hold anything like that against him, but it was like I don't know. I just thought it was like that's the type of scenario where I'm like, that's what I want to avoid playing Warhammer, and it happens all the time. Uh, or the dude that just straight up lied to me about what his Death Guard did. That was so funny. Like all game. It was great. Um, so yeah, Warhammer. So
Yep.
we're gonna that was the Warhammer piece.
That was Warhammer. What was your favorite book you read or reread this year?
Oh man, like my favorite book that we read this year. It's probably The Return of the King.
Yeah. I have a tie. Return of the King was one. The other one was Golden Sun.
Golden Sun was really good
The
too.
fucking ending, I was like, holy fuck. That was sick.
Yeah. No, they did a yeah, Pierce Brown did a phenomenal job with that. I would say the best scene that I read this year, the one that I just was like gave me chills was the Rohirrim charge on
That was
the
fucking sick.
like
When you gave the speech and everything.
yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. Um every audiobook, like there's so many audiobooks that do a great job with it too. Um but then pretty much after Return of the King, like I enjoyed the rest of Lord of the Rings, but I really have to applaud Pierce Brown and what he did. Like, yeah, Golden Sun was phenomenal. That'd probably be my number
Apparently
two.
the second trilogy is even like way better than the
Well, I'm
first.
kind of pumped to get back to it. I'm
A
not
lot of
gonna lie.
people don't like um what's the fourth one? Iron
Iron
Blood?
Gold.
Iron Gold. I enjoyed it. It's different. I liked it, but apparently Dark Age and Lightbringer are like fucking crazy.
And there's a new he's gonna release one more, right?
Yep. Yeah, Red God is the last one.
It's gonna be interesting
Then he's gonna
how
do
that all works out.
fantasy.
Oh, he's gonna write another series
Mm-hmm.
in fantasy. I'm
Yep.
excited for that. I feel like Pierce Brown could do a really good job.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely the worst ones so far.
What's been your
Uh,
least favorite minus Warhammer?
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. My least favorite was the end of the death. But this last book, Well of Ascension, was
Well, Ascension. I'm thinking.
that was tough.
I think my least favorite, honestly, it might be the Two Towers.
Get the hell out of here, really?
Dude, the tree thing was so
Mm,
fucking long, man. It
that was
was
tough.
so long.
What I never got about that book was almost every person that we talked to was like, yeah, it's the best.
I think it was my least favorite of the three.
Oh, for sure. Believe like worse than Mistborn trilogy though.
I was like, I think I was more interested in what was happening in like the world in Mistborn
Hmm.
because the trees took me so far out that I was like, God, is this gonna end?
The Battle of Helm's Deep was one of the most disappointing chapters that I read.
Yeah, it was tough.
Hmm.
And there's so many there's like singing and stuff. Like I really enjoyed like the whole of Lord of the Rings. Return of the King was fucking incredible. It
Yeah.
was 10 out of 10 in my opinion.
Hmm.
The other two weren't nearly as good. I think
Yeah.
Fellowship was decent. Honestly, I think I like The Hobbit better than The Fellowship and Two Towers.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Fellowship. Um, it was very slow to
Yeah,
start.
I agree. But yeah, the story itself I enjoyed. Like I
Hmm.
liked Frodo being hunted down. Like oh that was fucking just like it was creepy.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like when, yeah, the Nazgul were like way cooler
Yeah.
in
They were
the book.
fucking scary as shit. They're just
They
fucking
were.
sniffing the ground like a dog and like I know where the Frodo is. The Hobbit,
I
not the
remember
Frodo.
it was like raining. I was listening to the audiobook, just chilling out, raining, and like there the audiobook I had that like sometimes it wouldn't actually read the lines, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like it would just like play audio that is what somebody heard.
No, it's like the what did they call it? It's graphic audio is what they call it.
Yeah, it wasn't super heavy with it, but the Nazgul is one of the things they did that with. So like when Frodo and Sam were going through the woods and they were talking, and then all of a sudden, like with no, it wasn't like, and then they heard, it was like just boom, a Nazgul screech from the
It's
audiobook.
what the
And I was
fuck?
like, oh fuck, that was pretty fucking creepy. Um, oh, and talking about things that were like way creepier in those books, fucking Smeagol in The Hobbit was
Smeagol was
so creepy.
real creepy.
And like it makes sense that he is. Like reading about Smeagol, I'd be like, that's creepy as fuck. He's a real creepy guy.
Yeah. Like he is not nearly as scary in the movie, that's for sure. But in the book, he's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I would say The Hobbit is, I agree with you. In my mind, it goes Return of the King, The Hobbit, Fellowship, Twin Towers,
Yeah,
or
I
Two
agree.
Towers.
Shit, was I
Uh,
calling it Two Towers?
you were calling it
Wait, it
Two
is the Two
Towers.
Towers.
It is the Two Towers.
The Twin
Yeah,
Towers,
yeah,
9/11.
yeah, it's the Two Towers. Yeah. I thought one of the things that I think is interesting about the Two Towers, and now that I've read the book, I have an opinion of the fact that what are the two towers that it's referring to? And it's the two towers in front of Mordor. Like it's not even the tower at Mordor or the tower at um Isengard.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah. The thing is too, like I really like the movie The Two Towers.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Well, they do the Battle of Helm's Deep like
Yeah.
incredibly
Which looks
well.
way fucking cooler.
And it's kind of like how like it's similar to like Warhammer in the aspect that all of these ship battles would just be so much better if they were in movie form. Or all these Titan battles would be so much better in
Yeah.
visual media. And so you get to Two Towers, and it's like the Ints. While they're incredibly boring, they're a hell of a lot of fun to look at. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're interesting aspect of fantasy that Peter Jackson did really well. So yeah, I agree. Two Towers was a bit of a letdown of a book.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Mistborn.
Okay.
We've been hammering Mistborn pretty recently. Um, it's the first book though that I've read with such a strong magic system.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It puts Harry Potter to shame.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's kind of opening my eyes to it after reading Lord of the Rings, which has definitely like the weakest magic system and that I've ever read. Like no one knows what the fuck magic does in Lord of the Rings. Like it's
Gandalf just does things and things happen.
it's incredibly ambiguous on what
It'd be
magic
super
actually
useful
is.
here, a fireball. I'm gonna do that.
Or maybe not.
Let's see what happens.
Maybe everyone just dies. I don't know.
He just has like a wheel, and it's like, all right, what spell are we gonna do?
Yeah. But then Mistborn, it's very clear. And I actually think I enjoy the ambiguous magic more.
Interesting. I really like the system. I
Hmm.
don't like it being explained to me every time a metal is burned. Every
Yeah, that's
single
true.
fucking time. It's still happening. Like, bro, I understand. Pewter makes you strong. I get it.
Do you get what's interesting about the magic system is like you would think, okay, you're introducing a really cool, intriguing, lots of ruled magic system. So your fights are going to be way more interesting. And they were the first two fights that they had. And now they're just as interesting as any other person fighting with a sword. Like the like Vin doing acrobatic flips in the air and then anchoring off of this and pulling off of this. My mind's like, dude, you're describing Titan battles to me. Like would be way better in a visual medium. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
I find myself skipping combat again in books like this. Um,
Yeah, I think Mistborn would look really good in like the arcane animation style.
yeah, I think it'd be really
Like
sick
that
that
like
way.
palette looking. It just seems like that would match.
Yeah. Speaking of going through and converting things into animation style things, I agree with you on the Miss One side. And we also got confirmation this year that Henry Cavill is finally in December. We said, okay, it's happening. We're going forward.
Hell yeah.
I've never been more nervous about a show in my life.
Well, it'll be a couple years before we see it anyway.
I went through a roller coaster of emotions with this show. Got super excited when I first heard about it. I mean, Henry Cavill, Warhammer fan at the helm,
Amazon
and
money.
Amazon money. But then, like as the time went on, my brain just started going places. And Amazon money with Amazon rules really scared me. And then the second piece to this was I don't think the show should be made.
Yeah.
Just animate it. It should always have been animated.
Yeah, I feel like armor just doesn't look cool in real life.
It's gonna be so hard to pull off.
Like in
And
did you watch Fallout?
yeah,
The like Brotherhood of Steel armor looked goofy as shit.
yeah, a
So
hundred
fucking
percent.
goofy. Like I hated how it looked. Like yes, it looks like it should, which is goofy as fuck. I'm like, man, I don't want to see my Space Marines looking all clunky and stupid because their shit's too fucking heavy for them. It doesn't fit.
Some of the best cosplayers in the world cosplay as Space Marines. They look goofy as fuck when they do it, and they have spent hours upon hours perfecting this costume.
Yep.
If that is what the Space Marines look like, it doesn't matter how much money Amazon throws at this thing, it's just gonna be goofy.
Well, there
It's
won't
gonna
be
look
enough
like
tits.
clearly. I just, I don't know why. It's just like Henry, you're producing a show and you're a great actor, but like the love of the IP, it needs to be animated. You know what I mean? Animate yourself in there. But
Yeah.
like it costs way less to do than like you look at some of these live action shows that are coming out. It's just like absurd how much money. Like you look at how much Rings of Power costs. It was like over $1 billion
Yep.
to produce
Didn't
two
even
seasons.
didn't finish season one.
Yeah, neither did I. Like it was just silly. And I just wish it was animated because you look at some of the Astartes, like Astartes, for instance, just proved it to me. I'm like, you could have like the craziest fucking show right here if you just animated stuff like this.
Yeah, it's funny. Arcane, it was like touted as a loss as far as like revenue brought in, and the
Oh,
like head of Riot was like, "Look, we have a fucking video game that is our cash cow. that allows us to make this shit. Like we don't care about that.
Yeah,
We
it's
made it.
smart.
It was fucking awesome. Guess what? We're still making fucking money. It doesn't matter.
I am shocked that Arcane had a loss. Well,
Well, they spent a shit ton of money on it, but also like Wright was also like, it's our team. They
yeah.
did a job. That's fine.
And the thing is too, like you're absolutely right. Like the way Games Workshop should be approaching this, from my perspective, is it's just advertisement.
Yeah.
The player was it Player One? Is that the show that
Secret
was called?
level.
Secret Level. I keep calling it Player One. I don't know why. Secret Level. Like that
Different
was
book,
just
buddy.
yeah. That was like so much advertisement for Warhammer.
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't matter if that loses money, if your studio loses money from that, because you're going to make so much more money selling your miniatures, even though it's a game that you shouldn't buy.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing. It should be just advertisement. That's like what Riot said. It's like, look, people see
Mhm.
it, they play our game. They buy skins. Free
Yeah,
money.
Riots is free. Warhammer, if they're interested, they pay to play regardless.
Yep.
Yeah. How about the video games this year that you've gotten into?
Man, it's been a sad year. Last few years have been a sad year for me in video games. Like I love video games. I
Hmm.
just never had the fucking time to sit down
Yeah.
and just like veg out and play a video game. Like my most played games this year is probably Brotato and Balatro.
Hey, great games.
Oh,
I
and fucking
totally get it.
Tacticus.
Tact. Oh God.
Yeah,
How's that going, by the way?
dude.
This was the year of Tacticus.
Yeah,
It came and
we
went for me.
the guild has been ranked 13 last few seasons. It's pretty good.
Jesus, that is pretty good. I missed that train. Uh, I uh, I also have enjoyed a lot of Brotato this year. I've watched a lot of videos on Balatro. I think I'm gonna get it here soon.
Let's go.
Um, I played an absurd amount, not an absurd amount, but I played quite a bit of Total War. I still love Total War. I think Total War Warhammer is fantastic. Just playing a little bit today. Um, I just bought two with the winter sale for the I finally purchased Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk. So I'm making my way.
Hey, I have Red Dead Redemption 2 on Xbox. I installed
There you
it.
go. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll give these a try. I think I'm gonna start with Cyberpunk,
I
but
enjoyed
just
Cyberpunk a lot. And I did it I
well,
played it before the big update and I enjoyed it.
cool. And it works on this on the crap, what's it called?
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. I'm like, I'll just play that in bed. Solved.
Yeah.
Maybe while I'm bowling or something.
Yeah, you're a big bowler.
Uh-huh.
What what books do you want to do this year?
I definitely want to wrap up Red Rising. Go back to that, finish that up. I think it's going to be huge. I don't know if I want to wrap up the Mistborn series.
Nah, you don't want to do Era 2 or 3? I don't know if three's out. I know Era 2's out.
Era 2 is out. It looks like a steampunky kind of.
Yeah, apparently like Western steampunk.
Hmm. I don't know.
I
I'd have to d-
understand.
I'd have to do some research into it first. I struggle with books coming up because I'm interested in some books that are coming up in the future, but I'm also looking at books like I do love the jump between sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I enjoy modern day, even fantasy. You like historical fiction.
Yeah.
Maybe something we can jump into this year. I have been really tempted. I've only read like one and a half of these books to read the Aragon series again because it's finished and he just
Yeah.
released a new book this year.
I never read
Uh,
any of them.
yeah, they're very. I mean, they're coded as young adult books. They're very large books though, and I think they're I don't know. I'm debating it because it's not like crazy as complex as some of the things that we get even from like the Red Rising series, which is
Yeah.
another like socially complex. So that's one I've thought about. And other than that, I don't know. I was really pumped to get into some Sanderson books. Like I wanted to read The Way of Kings, but that was obviously it's like massive
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, I would like to read the Stormlight Archive. But woof, they're all pretty big girls there.
It's big and like Mistborn doesn't give me a lot of confidence that it's going to be necessarily good.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard I mean, I heard Mistborn was super good too, but a good friend of mine, he was like, honestly, I didn't think Mistborn was all that great, but Stormlight Archive is fucking insane. I was like, ah, man,
Yeah, that's
maybe.
tough.
I bought the first book because it was $3 on sale.
They're huge. They're like,
It was a Kindle,
oh, well,
Kindle
there you
version.
go. Yeah, I remember I purchased the audiobook and I looked and it was like 48 hours.
Yeah, the newest book was is 60 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, I
dude, like
was
it would
like,
take us a whole year to get through the Store of My Archives alone.
yeah, I would because we're too fucking slow.
Yeah, Jesus. That's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, those are
I've
like
also
10-part episodes.
I've also had some thoughts at Gen Con this year, potentially just going to like the author booths and just finding a series that looks interesting and
Oh,
just
that'd be
doing
cool.
that. However, I've gone to a few author booths before in the past, and sometimes,
There's a reason they had to go to a booth.
yeah, sometimes I'm like, this book is not great. Um,
This is just porn with words.
there's even pictures in it. It's just captioned porn. One thing I would like to read that's super fantasy-esque is the Dragonlance series.
Which one's that one?
Do you ever heard of There Will Be Dragons?
Hmm.
Is that I think it's the same series, but that's a really famous fantasy series.
Interesting. Book club for February and March is going to be doing the first book of Malazan.
Oh shit, that might be a good one.
All right, I guess it's January and February is what we're doing. I need to finish Ubik.
Yeah, I'm interested if anyone's listening that has read Dragonlance or if anyone knows a lot about it. Is it worth it? That's a big historical one. The
Yeah.
author was at Gen Con last year,
Oh,
signing
really?
books.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. For those, like, do I have interest in going back? What about you? Do you have interest in going back into Warhammer books at all?
There's like some that I would eventually like to read. Like I would like to read like the Night Lord's Omnibus.
Yep, that's a big one for sure. That'd probably be, I wouldn't mind Eisenhorn.
Yeah. Or apparently Gaunt's Ghosts are good, but I don't know if I want to read anything by Dan Abnett. He's kind of burned me, and I don't know if he can recover from it.
I'm the, so the other thing is like Gaunt's Ghost too, is like, I don't know like how much impact they have on the lore, but I
Yeah,
think it's just a story
I
set
think
in the
so too.
Warhammer universe, which might be cool, but also would frustrate me. I like my books to be high stakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
But maybe it'd be good just to not go high stakes for once, because every high stakes book we read has been there's an evil wizard sorcerer warrior, and he controls the world, and now I have to rise up from my impoverished community and rebel against them in order to overthrow them.
Yeah, I will say like when I read Project Hail Mary for the book club, like it was just like a nice like release of like this is a single book. It's not a fucking series. It's just a book with a full story, beginning and ending. Like I
Right
finished it, I
there.
was like, this was fucking incredible. Just a breath of fresh air. Fantastic book. Bunch of cool shit happened in it. Like I need more of that, I think, in my life.
I would not mind doing that because it can be a roller coaster the whole time.
Yep.
And it's not like huge. It's not a massive book
Now there's like it might have been 500 pages, but man, I was like
in it.
addicted to it. When we were I was reading it when we went to Chicago for vacation, and when Rin would take her nap, Alex would like go like to the bar or go. She went to the spa one day, and I went. This is really stupid, but we kept the room dark for the kids, so I went and sat in the
Were you in the
bathtub
bathroom?
in this huge ass bathtub, man. Like I'm sitting down and the walls go to my neck. Like it's a big ass bathtub. I'm just sitting in the bathtub drinking an old fashioned reading Project Hail Mary. It was fucking incredible.
That's amazing. I can only imagine Alex
There was no
walking in on
water
you.
either. It was just me fully clothed in the bathtub reading a
Oh,
book.
I knew. That's exactly how I imagined it. I'm sure. I imagine you didn't even give yourself a pillow.
No, first time I didn't have the pillow. Second time I
You
rolled
learned
up
your
a
lesson.
towel.
Just sitting there with an old-fashioned curtain rolled back.
It
Oh
was
my
great. Great
gosh.
time. Great fucking book. But I was addicted. I was like, I have to finish this chapter. I have to read another chapter. This is just getting too good.
That is so funny.
I haven't
That
been
is
like that
fucking
into a
great.
book in a while, but it was fucking incredible.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a few one-off books that are just specifically, here's a book, highly rated. It's hard to find.
Yeah, I agree. It is. It sucks because like everything like has to be a series for some reason. I'm like, man, can't you just tell your story in one book and move on?
Yeah. No, I get that. It's like the difference between a TV show and a movie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, just t tell me your story. That's prime movie example.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of books like I want to read this year. I set a goal for myself. I want to read 30 books this year. So
God, why?
I enjoy reading. And like we have this. Normally this will be like my audiobook for when I run.
Hmm.
I'm doing the book club. So that should be 12 books there. Who knows how many we do? Maybe three. And
All
then,
right.
whatever else
Hey,
I want
man,
to
I don't know if I could be on board with 30 bucks a year.
do.
Even when we were doing Warhammer, we did around 24.
It was
Tw
close.
About
Got really
20.
close, yeah. It's normally between like 19 to 23, I think, is what my Goodreads says.
That's pretty damn good.
It is good. The
I'm pretty
average
happy with those
adult
numbers.
human, because I want to specify human, reads 4 books a year.
That actually seems really high.
It does.
I know a lot of people who just
But I
don't
think
read at all.
there's people that are like really into reading that it probably bumps up the number.
That seems kind of crazy. I feel like out of 100 people, at least half of them don't read at all.
Yeah, it's probably true.
And
Fascinating.
then maybe somebody gets like 1 to 2 books. Like, I don't know. Like, I find it kind of nuts if you put 100 people in a room that 25 read more than 2 books a year.
I don't know. It probably also depends too, like if someone is religious, do they count the Bible verses that they'd go through church as reading? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
It
that's a
depends
good
on your
point.
criteria.
Get a whole bunch of people
I
just
read all
saying
kinds of
one.
shit on the Facebook.
Yeah.
That's a book, ain't it?
So they read 4 books a year on average, and you want to go 30.
Yeah. Some people do. There's a whole thing where it's a challenge to do 52 books a year. So a book a week. I'm not that crazy yet.
Oh
I
my gosh,
eventually I would like to do that.
I feel like I wouldn't have any time.
Yeah,
Like
it's definitely you got to set priorities.
I did the math and like it would take me like to read the Well of Ascension, I said it was like 24 hours nearly
Yeah.
of reading. Like 24 hours a week for
Yeah, I mean, I
a
imagine like at
year.
some point, like you just read
That's
so much, you just get faster at it. I'm not a fast reader, which I don't understand why I'm not a fast reader. Maybe it's just because I'm stupid
Yeah,
and I
I'm not
have to
fast either.
like I think like I've read that like some people like I'm someone that like I read the words in my head, like I say the words on the page in my head. Some
Yeah.
people don't do that. They just like scan the pages, and I don't know how the fuck they can like keep that
Mm.
information in their head. Like I've tried it. I'm like I don't. I just looked at words.
Sometimes I think like speed reading conceptually
Yeah,
is what you're talking about. Sometimes I'm like I think that might be bullshit. I think you're just like retaining you're retaining a much lower percentage of
yeah.
what the book is saying or what the words are saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, yeah, I'm a slow reader too. I will do I will say that I do skip sometimes. I do skip pages.
I never
Not
skip.
I won't skip like an egregious amount, but like sometimes if I'm in a combat scene, I'm like, look, like how does this end? Like is there any like big moment? So for majority of the Warhammer books, I would say I didn't skip anything. But they're like, for instance, uh Angel Exterminatus when Fulgrim and
I'll
Portorabo
skip
were
the whole
doing their
ending.
crazy shit. I was like, okay, like this is getting crazy. Does anything happen in this chapter? Like what is going on? When Vin and Zane are like dueling, I'm like, oh my God, okay, like I get it. He's like good, but she's good too. All right, like what's the what's the outcome here?
Yeah, I have a feeling the audiobooks are actually better for the Sanderson books.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Cause like, yeah, you're right. Like I could imagine myself like getting pretty zoned out if
Mhm.
I was reading it.
If I find myself getting zoned out from something, I ask myself, okay, is it giving me pertinent information? Because I almost guarantee you, if it was giving me pertinent information, I wouldn't be zoned out.
Yeah, I have this really big problem when like I get bored, I just instantly get super tired and almost fall asleep. It's a
Hmm.
really big problem to have when you're in like a work thing and I'm like fucking nodding off because I'm bored.
Huh.
Not a good look. But
It's like you're in class.
yes, it's just like my brain just like I don't care. We should sleep. No, 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 fucking stop, please.
Hmm.
But like if I'm like it's like sometimes I'm reading, I'm just like, I am really tired now. That's weird. I must be really fucking bored.
Yeah. No, I get tired as well while reading. I don't have that issue at work as much.
It's really bad. Like I can be like even like writing notes, I'm just like, man, this is so boring. Just like zoning out. It's so fucking bad. It's embarrassing. I don't know why it's such a big problem for me, but it is.
Oh, camera on and everything.
Well, normally I'm not on
That'd be
camera.
so funny, just in your bathtub.
But like when I had first got like my real like big boy job out of
Yeah.
college, and I had to go to Wisconsin for 10 weeks for training, and like we're on like it's like a classroom setting. They're like training us.
Oh yeah, I
That's
remember.
the reason I started drinking coffee was like I have to fucking stay awake. I have to stay awake. So
The
I'm drinking
funniest thing,
black coffee. I hated it, but I was like, I need caffeine. I'm still like dozing off. I'm like, fuck, I need more caffeine.
that is so funny. I think the funniest thing about that is like just knowing you and like who you are as a character. Like when we went to college together, you would be like, I would say, hey, I'm not really getting anything from this class. Like I'm gonna skip this class. And you'd be like, I would never, ever skip a class. And you would just go and sleep in the class. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like
my
you
fucking biometrics class, the only thing that mattered was attendance, and I would be fucking dead asleep in there because I twice or once a week for whatever the like the IT work thingy that we had that we were part of,
Yeah,
UITs. I
night
worked a
shift.
graveyard shift
Yeah.
on, and the next day I had that class. At the end of the day, it was at like 4:15, and I was just fucking zonked.
Yeah, I would skip a lot of classes because I was drunk. They put a bar on campus. What do they want me to do?
Yeah, those fucking idiots.
No, they yeah, it's so interesting that like you would be reading the entire book. You'd be like, I'm not gonna skip anything. But you'd be like sleeping through it. You're just reading word after word.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's stuff. Stuff left to live. You're gonna
So
do
yeah,
anything
I
else?
mean, overall, I think the year for me was mediocre. Well, I wouldn't call it mediocre. I think last year was this year was better than last year in my opinion. Last year we spent a lot of time on Siege books. We spent a lot of time on some of the ending books of the Horus Heresy, which got a little weaker. The first year we did this, it was very strong books, like through 1,000 Suns, stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. Um, so the books this year, I think, probably my second favorite. of the years that we've done it, just because really interesting, like completely changed things up. We obviously don't like our community shrunk quite a bit just because we've moved away from Warhammer,
Yeah, I
but it's
like
still fun.
the books that we've been doing more and like the content itself. I hate how inconsistent we've been, but we've also just had like busy lives.
Yeah, I mean, like as soon as we basically took a break for the weddings, like
Yeah.
3 weeks essentially for the weddings. Yeah, it's been off and on for sure.
Yeah. But also like I don't want to feel like I'm married to the podcast. Like I don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
love the community. I love doing this with you.
Mhm.
But
I
sometimes
mean,
it's like, do I piss off my wife by making plans with Gavin, or do we just schedule next
yeah,
week?
yeah, 100%. And then you get scenarios where it's like, well, we haven't made 5 million subscribers yet, so
Yep.
probably won't.
How many pages have you read? Eight. Not a good week to do that.
Not a good week. Not a good week. It's remarkable how much time we can fill though.
Yep. Yeah, so like they just kept swirling around in dresses. It was weird.
Oh, one thing I wanted to ask, your year in review on the sports side. How are you feeling about the Steelers?
They ain't looking good.
4 game
Um,
losing streak, right?
three.
Three.
Yeah, they play Bengals Sunday. I hope
And
they
the
beat the
Bengals
Bengals just because first off, I think they need it for the
to win
fucking
the Ravens.
selves.
Yeah.
But mostly because if they beat the Bengals, Bengals can't make the playoffs, and that just sounds so fucking
It's
beautiful.
a really, I mean, it was a much more interesting playoff scenario, right? Before the Colts lost to the Giants, which makes me want to just cry. Anthony Richardson was out because he was sore.
Well, apparently he's had back spasms, and there's something wrong with like he has like a herniated disc that he's had since eighth grade, and he doesn't want surgery on it.
I, I'm
That
that
sounds like something
confused.
that should have been
It's
found out in I don't know the combine.
so confusing to me. I've been having back spasms. Ugh, man, I'm so frustrated with that
I
scenario.
am 100% convinced Colts are tanking next year to get Archie Manning in 26.
You think so?
It would be
Hey, I'd buy that
unreal.
jersey.
Hopefully it picks number 18 because that'll make it a lot easier for people in Indy.
Yep. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I look at like I'm so confused at like how our season went. I'm pretty sure that Shane Steichen every single week in front of the media has to stop himself from saying, I don't know what the fuck's going on with my quarterback.
Yeah, the dude, he has done himself no favors.
I mean, I I question our defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I guess
It's
probably
been
fired.
it's been up and down. I don't understand.
I don't know how you
Like,
let Drew Lock throw for three touchdowns.
yeah, like literally
Or
all of
was it
them were to
four?
Malik Neighbors. It's
Dude, I
four.
know it was really great for me in fantasy. Too bad I lost by fucking point 1 point in the championship. God
How
damn
much
it.
did Neighbors score for you?
38.
That's pretty damn good.
Yep. Also had Trey McBride who scored me 30. Lost by
My
point
biggest
one.
my biggest upset with fantasy this year is the fact that I'm gonna have to pay my brother-in-law money
Yeah, you owe me money too.
because you got third place.
Yep.
How much third place win?
I don't know. $30, I think. I don't know. Everyone also needs to pay you. And then you can dish
Yeah,
out the money.
yeah, that's true. No one's really paid. Yeah, well, I'll look into it. It's like a $20 buy-in. I'll just give you $10. Pay me. There you go. Pretty much what you get is $10.
Well, what's really funny too is I swear my app reloaded and changed the score of the championship because I congratulated Scott, sorry, your father-in-law, and then the score updated. And I was like, ah, fuck, this is awkward. He didn't win.
Yeah, lost by like 4 points or something. A lot, really close championship. You would have beat him though, wouldn't you?
I would have won by 30 points.
I don't know why the fuck you lost the
Dude,
last round, man.
when it comes to fantasy football, I'm cursed. I am literally not allowed to win. I've been playing for 10 years. In one of my leagues, I am so known for being in the third and fourth place match that the third place winner gets a Coop Cup and it's a golden gauntlet.
That's incredible.
It's fucking stupid. All right, it's bullshit. And then in my dynasty league, we're about to go into year 4, and I've been runner up twice already. So
Wow,
I'm
that's
just not
tough.
allowed to win. It's just not in the cards.
That's real tough.
It's fucking
You even
stupid.
you played like we were all rookies.
It doesn't matter how good my team is. Doesn't matter. I could be the highest point scorer by 5,000 points. I get into the playoffs and it's like, how did we get Dylan third place? And
How
then
did we
God's
do it?
like, we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Don't worry, you don't have to do
All
anything.
these guys, all their legs snapped in half at once.
It's automatic.
I'm just like, all right, cool. Guess
That's
we're
great.
back into the drawing board. Sweet.
That's how I feel like it is for the Steelers too, you know? Yeah,
Pretty
win
much.
win every season. Can't ever win.
Yeah.
Can't ever pull anything off.
Maybe that's the problem. I'm just like in a really bad blood pact with Mike Tomlin. Where I
What's
can't
going
he
on?
can't win another Super Bowl and I can't win a fantasy championship.
Once Mike Tomlin retires or gets fired, then
He'll never get fired. The Rooney's would never.
well, I mean, I feel like everyone said the same thing about Belichick.
Yeah, but the Rooney's are really cheap. They
Oh, that
don't
makes sense.
they don't do that.
So this year's been a bad year for sports for us as well.
Yep.
Oh no, the Steelers are still in it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully they get Houston for the playoffs.
Yeah, they
I'm
haven't been playing well either.
Yeah, I think they could go in and beat Houston. I think they could play the Ravens again and be okay, I think.
Sure. Just got to lock up Derrick Henry and Flowers and Lamar and
I'd
yeah,
say
they're
Flowers
pretty
isn't
tough.
that good. I think Zay is overrated.
I think they're tough.
Same thing with Lamar, but that's a different problem.
Lamar's great. Should he be MVP?
Ah. I mean
Who
he
should?
I think MVP is going to be Josh Allen. I think the actual MVP should be Saquon Barkley. Dude's been
Oh,
fucking
for
insane.
sure. Saquon's absolutely nuts.
He'll win Offensive Player of the Year, whatever. MVP is
Yeah,
a QB award, but I think it should be Saquon. That
I
dude's
think
unreal.
I think another like super underrated person is Brock Bowers. The dude is a rookie.
He
He
has
should
to
get
win
rookie of
Offensive
the
Rookie
year.
of the Year.
Yeah, I should be. I mean, he's got like the fifth highest receiving yards as a tight end. It's
Although
incredible,
I don't know, they'll probably give it to Jaden Daniels.
which is a damn shame. Even though Jaden Daniels is great.
Yeah, him, Bowers, and Neighbors all had really good rookie seasons.
Oh yeah, Neighbors did really fucking well,
Yeah, you know about that
especially
firsthand.
against the Colts. Yeah, it really
He
fucking hurt me. I didn't
really
know
helped
too
boost
much
those
about
numbers.
Neighbors. Didn't know too much about Neighbors until last week, and now I know everything about him. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes next year, though. Part of me is kind of hoping the Colts do tank and take Archie Manning. That would definitely make me happy.
Yeah, then they can suck again.
Yeah, but at least Manning's on the team.
Yeah, true, true. At least
It gives us a little bit more pride back. I feel like that for like 2 months, the whole city would be like, we did it. We did
we're,
it.
we're winning the championship.
This is going to be the most insane thing you've ever seen in your
And
life.
then he breaks the interception record. It's like,
And then
all right.
everyone's like, don't worry, Manning did that year one too. Year
Yep,
two's going to
yep.
go nuts, though.
It's all gonna go for full circle. In like 10 years, he's gonna have two Hall of Fame wide receivers and a really good tight end, and it's gonna be great.
Oh shit, we forgot about the rest of the team.
Fuck him. Cool. Well, that's it. Yeah, 2024 is over. 2025 is coming up. We'll finish. Well, we'll start talking about Hero of Ages next week.
Yep.
Have you read it yet? Started yet?
I've read a couple chapters. Very annoyed with how what Eland is. It's like literally insane.
Yeah, he's super OP. That's why I called it lazy writing when I have described it so far. I'm like, it just seems lazy.
Have you finished it?
I am like 60, 70% through.
Would this be your worst book of the year?
I don't. Mm, I don't. The thing is, like, I don't think the book is bad, but I guess I didn't really think Two Towers is bad either. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, I'll see. We'll talk about it. I'll probably trash it because I've been trashing this whole series because I'm
Yeah,
just a
that's fair.
trash
I mean,
talker.
this one, you're gonna lose your fucking mind in this one, I think, because I am like slowly unraveling. And I'm like, God damn. Like the last chapter I read, I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, no one, I called this 12 chapters ago, and it's acting like it's such a big reveal. It's not.
Yeah. I like it's getting to the point where I'm thinking that maybe the solution to the deepness is friendship.
We just love each other harder.
What don't you get?
But yeah, we'll talk Hero of Ages next week, guys. As always, hit us up on the Discord. Find that pin to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at heresylodge@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube at Heresy Lodge. Check out our merch. Book club will be starting here in 2 weeks, I think. I don't know. You
I
can find
really
all the
want to
information on
read.
Discord. Starting book one of Malazan for the first 2 months. Just I don't know why. It's only 500 pages. I think we thought it was longer, but there we are. We'll figure out
Maybe
the
I
other
can join
ones.
you. I might be able to do that in 2 months.
Well, what you gotta do? Audiobook one or the other one physically. It's easy.
Sure.
As long as you exercise, I guess, or drive or anything where you can kind of just listen.
I do neither of those things.
Yeah, I also work from home. All right, guys, have a good one.